Hi, in the previous video I explained how to combine two or more buildings like these two and this one and convert them into one single static mesh like this one over here. This is a static mesh, so I cannot change its height or number of floors. But in this video I will show you how to transform these buildings into modules so you can control the height of the new building just like in the original assets. Let me first delete the static mesh since we don't need it. Here we have the original blueprints. You can see that each one is an individual building. If I double click on one of them, I can select each of the modules. We have a base module, a body module, and a top module. So what we want to do now is to create 3 new modules, but for this whole new complex of buildings. So the base will be all this, the body or middle will be this section, and the top module will be all of this. It will make more sense in a moment. First, I'm going to create a folder where I can save the new modules that we are going to create. Next, make sure that you have the snapping options activated. Now, I'm going to select all the buildings and duplicate them. It's very important that the building is in the origin of the world so that the new modules have the pivot in the right place. So I will take the building in the middle and reset its location so it is in the center of the world, and then move the other buildings back in place. Now we can create the first module. First, select this building, right-click and select Browse to Asset. This will take us to the folder of the building where we have the blueprint and also a folder with the individual modules for this building. Click on the module that says Base and highlight it. Now select the 2 buildings. These buildings are the same. One of them is just flipped horizontally. So select them, right-click and select Replace Selected Actor. And choose this mesh, which is the module that we just highlighted in the content browser. Now you can see that the buildings have been replaced with the base module only. Now we need to do the same with the other building. Right-click on it and click on Browse to Asset. Open the modules folder and select the base module. Right-click again on the building and replace the asset with the selected mesh. Now we have the base module, but you can see it doesn't match up with the other meshes. We want that this module also reaches the same level as the other meshes. So what we can do is to duplicate this module, move it up, and make sure it aligns perfectly with the other mesh. And now replace it with the body module. And now we can scale it so this edge matches this edge. For this I recommend you to do it in the details panel so you can enter a precise value and the edges match perfectly. Let's put, for example, 1.5 in the Z value. That is a little too much, so maybe 1.3, too low. Now let's put 1.35 and there you go. Now the edges match perfectly. Right, so now that we have all our modules ready, it's time to merge them together. So select all the meshes, go to Tools menu, Merge Actors, and here we need to do something important. You have to activate the option Pivot Point at 0, so that the new module has the pivot in the origin. Otherwise, the new mesh inherits the pivot of the first mesh that you selected. For example, if you selected this mesh first, the pivot of the new mesh will be here. But if you activate the pivot point at 0, the new mesh will have the pivot in the origin over here. So select all the meshes and click Merge Actors. Go to the folder we created and name the module. I'll call it Static Mesh New Base. And here we have our new base module as a single mesh. Now we are going to make the middle or body module. I'm going to delete this mesh because we don't need it anymore. Open again the folder with the modules of the first building. Highlight the body module. Select the two meshes and replace them. And do the same with the module of the other building. Select the body module and replace it. Now select the three modules and merge them together. Make sure again that the pivot point at 0 is activated. Go to our folder and name it Static Mesh New Body. And now let's make the final top module. Again, open the modules folder, highlight the top module and replace it. And do the same with the other mesh. Now we have a little bit of an issue here. We want this dome to be much higher. So what we can do is to duplicate it. First, let me change the snapping units so it is easier to work. Duplicate the dome and replace this one with the body module. And now I will simply duplicate this module as many times as I need to reach the desired height. I think that's about right. Now select all the meshes and merge them together. And call the new module Static Mesh New Top. Great! Now we have our three modules ready. We just now need to create the blueprint for our new building. So go to the Blueprints folder, select the Building Construction Basic and create a child blueprint. Name it something like BP New and move it to our test folder. Open the new blueprint. And here we are going to replace the meshes in the blueprint. Select the base module component and drag the new base module into the mesh box. Now the body module component. And finally the top module. You can ignore the top empty module for now. So now we have all the new modules in place and they automatically align in their corresponding positions. Now simply click Compile and Save. Now we can drag our new blueprint into the viewport and change the height as we like. And of course, we can also change the UV layout and change the materials as always. Pretty cool, right? Now, let's say you don't like these elements in the rooftops, or perhaps you just want to put something different. You can change this too. First, let's go back to our modules and go to the folder of this module. If we open this top module, we have the default module that already includes some objects in the rooftop. But we also have another module called empty module, which is the same module without any objects. What we can do is to replace these meshes with the empty modules. And now create a new top module, selecting everything again. Let's call this one Static Mesh New Top Empty. I will drag the top empty module to the viewport and open the folder called Roof Elements, where we have all the objects available. Now you can simply start adding objects to the roof as you like. If you add these wall elements, make sure that they have applied the same material as the main module. Now I'm going to merge everything. First, select the main top module and then all the other roof elements. and go to Tools menu, Merge Actors. And here I am going to uncheck the pivot point at 0. Since our top module already has the pivot in the right place, and I selected the module as the first object in the selection, then the new merged mesh will have the pivot in the same place. I named the new mesh as Static Mesh New Top 2. And now, if we go back to our blueprint, we can replace the top module with the new mesh. Compile and save. And now we have a new blueprint with the updated roof elements. Okay, that would be all for this video. I hope you found this information and techniques useful. I will leave the link for the asset pack in the description, and I hope you have fun working on your projects. Bye!